Hey, this is Kiev, Key Creative Studio, and Master Drawing Japan, and I'm here to offer another another video for you guys that I hope will be a little bit helpful. Okay, um, so this one I'm gonna talk about, um, which is I believe to be probably everybody's bane, which is drawing the hand, right? It's something that um, I think for even people who I believe are experienced at drawing. Drawing the hand sometimes um, can, if you're not careful, um, it might like jump up and like um, get out of control and kind of like get away from you, stuff like that. So the other thing um, is that I think I'm gonna have to handle this like um, in maybe a series of videos because um, this is not so easy in my opinion in terms of like, well, um, just do this, just measure that, and your kids are good to go. Um, I don't think it's quite that simple. Um, because there are things to keep in mind in terms of like how the hand um, is like articulated in space, right? It's one thing um, to draw, let's say just a hand that's kind of static or whatever. It's another thing, if you want to draw the hand um, doing what it does, right? So I'm not gonna make any um, illusions to you guys and say, oh, it's gonna be easy. But I think there are a couple of things that we can keep in mind that might be helpful um, in terms of like drawing the hand, and maybe make it a little bit less scary um, when drawing it. Um, okay, so one thing I think that is very um, maybe hold on a second. Let me get these let me get these fingers um, done first, and then because talking and drawing at the same time, and actually that's really not the best way to draw, right? Okay, all right. And I'm doing this very sketchy and very loose because um, trying to make it a little bit light on myself. Okay, all right, all right. So here's my quick whatever for a hand. Okay. Um, a few things that I think that might be helpful for you guys to keep in mind. Okay. Um, Now, right now, what I've done here, I have constructed this hand. Okay, just now. All right. I don't want to say I drew it as much as I constructed it. So it's not particularly it's not the most natural hand I've ever drawn, but um, it has the accoutrements that we will recognize as a hand. Okay. All right. So, um, all right. not the most pretty one. But anyway, okay, let me stop. Yeah, um, self-effacing myself. All right, so one thing I think that might be helpful for you guys to keep in mind when you're gonna um, draw a hand is, okay, number one, the all right, let's talk about measurements. Okay. Okay. One thing you can count on is that the um, the size of the palm. Okay. Here's our palm here. Here's our forearm. The size of the palm, if that's one measurement, it is the fingers are actually the exact same measurement. So if I was like just to, yeah. So the distance from let's say like where like the um, basically like where the knuckle is meeting here, um, and like the base of the palm, and then like from where the utmost point, like where the fingers will extend to, that is the same. That is the same measurement. So it's one and one. And I know when you look at it like that, you think it's crazy, right? Because it's like no way in hell, like my hand is that long, but but actually it's deceiving, because I guess we kind of see it like in two parts. And of course also the fingers are separate digits, right? And they're moving in space, so we don't really, it doesn't really have like that elongated kind of paddle kind of look to it. Even when we close our fingers, because they're at different shapes. It doesn't really come off. Doesn't really come off that way, right? Um, all right. The other thing. Um, sorry, I wanna. Actually, I'll come back to that in terms of like the thumb here. Um, the each finger, right? So if I have a finger here, and I'm gonna do this very unceremoniously, and I'm just gonna just draw pretty much like a tube kind of thing, or a sausage kind of thing here. All right. Um, so now you would think um, that um, the finger would be divided like in equal thirds, but it's not. Um, it's in three sections, yes, but the finger is not. Let me just move this down here. Um, um, rotate, 1 second. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, the finger is not you know unfortunately, um, yeah, the finger is not in um, these nice convenient like thirds for us to measure it out. Um, here's the thing that's gonna drive you guys crazy. Even though it's in three parts, like one, two, three, okay, each um, section of this digit is roughly about a third smaller than the following digit. So basically, if this is one, okay, then this next digit here is actually, it's going to be like 2/3 and then the final part actually will be like 1/3. So it's actually it's going down actually, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And actually, if you know if you look um, uh, at your finger, okay, now actually I'm looking at my finger right now, and I might say like, no, that's not true because I'm looking at like at the lines, like underneath the lines like underneath my finger, and it's no, it's actually it's equal. But it's another thing you should keep in mind, and like the um, where where the joint and that fold are meeting up. It's not as perfectly exactly like on the line as you think it is, because actually the um, it's actually like this kind of relationship. It's kind of like going back. So the truth is, oh, you know what? A better thing. Yeah, don't look at like the muscle because it'll get tricky. It'll fool you. Let's say if I have a bone here, it's better if you look at the bone. That's the best way of doing it, right? Um, Here, and then this one is a little bit like that. Okay. Sorry guys if this is not the neatest way of doing it, but when you guys get done with this video, um, take a look for yourself, okay, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Um, Definitely at the bone, it's very easy to see that the bones get progressively smaller as we go towards the tip. And again, each one going down, it's a minus 1/3 for each section. So that's something you guys should keep in mind. Okay. Um, it, I guess like one of the uh, what I think was the best pieces of advice I can give you about drawing. It's not just so much like a matter of like how to do something. Another important aspect is like how to think, how to think about approaching something, right? So it's really like a matter of like your understanding. Again, I can give you a lot of measurement tips. You're like, okay, the again, palm is roughly it's the uh, same measurement as like where the fingers are, and okay, like each section of each digit, it's a third smaller. But you want to understand as much as possible about the hand, and look at your own hand. Look at some of your artists that you respect who know how to draw hands well. See how they approach it. Offhand, I would say like look at the old masters. I would look at Michelangelo. I would look at Pontormo. I would look at all Caravaggio, all those guys, and see like how they approach this problem, because I know it's not an easy thing for it's not easy for anyone. Even though some people will they'll BS you and they say oh it's if you know what you're doing it's not that hard. It's like, stop lying. you know it, I mean uh, with a lot of mileage, yeah, you can you can definitely navigate your way. Like I said, when I drew this hand, I constructed it. I didn't really draw it as I would like to say. I kind of I sketched it out, and a lot of this is just it's basically is mileage. Okay, so okay, so let me stop yapping because I'm eating into your time, because I don't want to make this video too long. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Um, I'm going to, let's say, all right, I'm gonna copy this layer, and I'm gonna copy that layer, and I'm gonna put these guys up here, turn them off, and then I'll merge these. Okay, and I'm gonna move this guy up to the corner here. Okay. All right. There we go. So these are some things that I'm hoping will be helpful for you guys in terms of how you think about drawing in general, and also particularly drawing the hand. And this might help you. And this is not particularly in terms of constructing the hand, but something to keep in mind. One thing I highly recommend to keep in mind when you draw is gesture. Actually, two things: um, rhythm. I can't spell rhythm. Living in Japan too long. Rhythm and gesture. Those are two things that I think will help you. Um, and what I mean by that, in terms of rhythm, obviously, if I do something like this, obviously we see a relationship here, right? And obviously, you you notice your eyes are being led from here to here in this sweeping action, right? So that there's our rhythm. Okay. The gesture essentially is like what is being expressed by the figure or by the particular part of the human body, that we're drawing, right? So, for example, if I did something like this, all right. So again, what I was talking about in terms of the rhythm, we feel like this is coming up and coming down like that. So the rhythm and the gesture I'm talking about here is like, well, like maybe somebody's hand is, I don't know, maybe someone is um, dunking a basket. I'm sorry, dunking a basketball or so, well, not dunking, actually shooting a basketball. Dunking means it would be a little bit more dynamic than this. But this general idea, I know this is very cartoonish, but the general flow and idea is there, right? Um, so when you're drawing the hand, okay. Um, what I recommend when you first draw it, you're doing your figure drawing, whatever. Don't don't make a big deal about, like, oh my God, it doesn't look like a hand, right now, like on my first pass, it doesn't look. It's like don't worry about it. You like slow down, chill. You're not finished drawing, right? Real drawing. Really, it's not just like, you know, um, 1, 2, 3, and I'm done, right? It's a process. It's kind of like a layering process. So so even though, like, the anatomy on this little sketch that I did here is it's not really what I like, at least I'm in the general ballpark, and then I can flesh that out. So 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 don't kill your drawings before they had a chance, like, to live, you know by saying, like, oh my God, like, this is not working out, or like, this sucks, I don't know what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff. Like, just chill out, man. Just don't worry about it. And another thing, I tell my students, like, because sometimes, they it's kind of funny. It's just like what, people see, um, and what they're focusing on, because sometimes, they'll have they would have drawn a perfectly oops, um, they would have drawn like a perfectly fine figure. So let me, okay, let's put this. So we'll put that on a different layer. Um, and you know, they're they're riffing on themselves about, oh, like, that the hand doesn't look right and stuff like that. And what I tell them sometimes, I say, you know what? If you didn't say anything about that hand, I wouldn't have noticed it, right? And my point is, like, when people, when you start like laboring like over um uh a certain point, like there's something like that you're drawing, and you end up like laboring on it, it's gonna show, right? It's gonna show up. um if I did something like this, okay, for example, just really quick, all right, some person standing here, okay, like this, okay, and well, I'll do it this way. um, that, okay, like that, okay. Now, even though this is like a stick figure, right, I think you can pretty much get the general idea. Like this is um, a human. Okay. But my point is that um, you guys are not making a big deal out of this and this, right? There's enough gesture in here that this reads as a hand. And it's not because I drew like the digits and all and the anatomy and stuff like that. What I got was like the gesture, like what is the hand expressing. That's it. That is gonna read a lot more important. That's more important for that to read than saying that, oh, it looks like a really believable like three-dimensional hand. That's I hope that makes sense to you guys. Um, no, don't get me wrong. It's like, as you tie down your drawing, and of course you bring things into focus. Of course, you want to clarify things, but don't kill it in the beginning. Don't really. I think if you get like this, like um, the overall gesture. Okay, if I do something like this, like that, right? That's fine. That's enough, right? Just to start off with. You just want to block it in, so you guys can have, so your audience has the idea. Okay. Um, let me keep it going, because actually I think I'm talking a little bit too long here. I don't know what I feel I might be at the 30-minute mark already. I'm not sure. Um, the other thing, all right. So the things, yeah, I recommended. Okay. Again, rhythm and gesture. Okay. So think about that. Like when you're drawing hands. Okay. Do not worry about the anatomy and things like that. You can figure that out a little bit later. Or at least once you've got a little bit more mileage in terms of like like how to construct a hand. It'll be that much easier. Okay. Another thing that might be helpful for you guys, another point, is overlap. Overlap is can be really your friend, and I notice a lot of um, the artists that I admire, even some of the old masters, they use overlap as a way of creating a sense of three-dimensionality. So what I mean by overlap is, if I have a volume here like this, and a volume like that, and then like a volume like that, automatically you have like this sense that this thing is in it's in space, and actually it's um, right? It's going away. It's like receding in space, right? This is closer. This is farthest away. This is somewhere in the middle, right? So you can take the same concept, the same idea, and apply it apply it to the hand. So what I'm getting at is, okay, so for example, um, one of the things I notice, actually, you know what? I'll do this. I'll do something that I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Disney does this a lot. They'll take like a cartoon hand like that. So I'm going to come back to this too, because this little cartoon hand is also going to be another friend you can use to help you um, um, uh, get the hand down. So all right, so they'll draw this like this kind of little this cute sock mitten looking kind of hand, and then they'll drop a finger like this, right? And just by doing that, already it's like it started to look like, oh, like, well, this is a this is just not like a mitten, but actually, this is something that has different edges. And then they'll even do something like this, right? So the only thing that I did was just that I just overlapped the fingers, um, to create a sense, that this is um, this is something, that has um, digits, and then and it's um, yeah, it has like articulation and things like that. Okay. Um, so overlap is another tool you can use. I highly recommend using it. If you want to think about it in like in a more realistic way, um, you can do something like this. So there's the hand, and then I'll have like a finger coming off like this, like that, and then um, I'll have like the middle finger coming down like that, and then um, I'll put this one like just like a little bit in front of it, like that. Show a little bit more actually. Then I could put the thumb in here like this. Okay. So it's the same the same idea that I have here, is that I'm just overlapping the fingers. Oops, make this a little bit cleaner. So it reads a little bit better. There we go. So by doing that, um, yeah, we get a sense of, actually, this finger should be like that. There we go. All right. Um, so we get the feeling like now, like, yeah, this like these fingers are, well, they're articulating, right? Another thing, guys, right? This also, I hope this might be a little bit helpful for you. Um, Whenever like you draw any like part of the body, and of course in this case, like particularly like the hand, um, try to make a point to draw um, a little bit more than just, you know, that part which is in question. In other words, like you want to draw like what it's connected to, um, because that's going to have like an impact on, um, in other words, like whatever it's connected to, um, it definitely has an impact in terms of like how um, it's related, um, how the parts like relate to each other, you know. So just don't just draw the hand, but but also like draw like a little bit of like the arm, that's attached to it, that um, you might find that to be a little bit helpful. Okay, so all right, so that's another thing to keep in mind. All right, what else I can talk to you guys about in terms of hands here. All right, I'll do one more measurement, and then I'll call this like part one for now. And of course, I promise I will come back and do another one, because I didn't even, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, so I have uh, no cheat sheet here for me or anything like that. Um, okay, in terms of measuring, right? Oh, no. Actually, this also you might find to be this is an important one. This one's important. Okay, so I told you guys that the um, the hand is pretty much divided like into like two units, right? So so roughly speaking, if this is like one unit, this will be one unit. Okay. All right. Um, this is I think this is one of the most important things like to keep in mind in terms of when you construct your hands. Okay. Um, One thing you want to keep in mind is that the fingers do not, and I repeat, the fingers do not start here at these points. Okay, that is a big mistake that at least a way of thinking, um, a big mistake in terms of my thinking I had for a very long time. I was always thinking like, okay, I got to draw this box here, and then I'm gonna branch off the fingers off of it like that, and then I'm gonna draw like these cylinders here, like this, and yeah, and I do something like that, and I'm like, why does it look, so, you know, stiff, or it actually looks like what it is. It's like fingers that are just being stuck on top, right? How come it doesn't feel like it's a cohesive thing, right? The All right, the hand, and I apologize, I didn't draw the bones or anything like that, but the hand is made up of several groups of bones. Okay, um, down here you have about what, maybe seven, I think seven or eight bones down here, that are called like your carpal bones. It's like they're like little stones, and these stones like help you to, basically like to rotate your wrist, um, comfortably. It's not just, like you have like the bones of like the ulna and the radius, um, and then it just jumps into the hand. It doesn't work like that. So you have like this, it's like a group of bones down here, and then on top of that, you have um, these bones, which these are called the metacarpal bones, and there are four here. Actually, I'm sorry. That's terrible. 1 second. Let me do that again. So sorry. Not thinking. Actually, it's a little bit, but it's going to try at least get them to, as best as possible, get them to branch out, because I would want it to. My point is that the uh, these bones here in the, like in the palm, in your actual palm, those bones actually, those connect to the bones, like, which become the digits of your hand. So my point is that when you draw the hand, I think it'll be helpful to think of um, yeah, to think of the bones. Oh, sorry, they think of the fingers actually starting inside the hand and then extending out, not just like, okay, just draw a box and then just like attach the fingers on top. It's always going to look, it's going to look funky when you do that. But if you draw the hands like this as like one, now it tends to seem a little bit more cohesive. So when it comes time for us to actually to flesh this out, it's going to be grouped together a little bit better. Okay, so so that's yeah, because actually, the whole finger should be like this, right? By the way, it's another thing. Also, I'm all over the place with this video. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. Um, when you draw fingers, okay, this is another bit of advice. Try not to just to draw straight lines like this. Um, don't do that to yourself, okay? And I've said this before in some other videos, which is that you look at anything in nature, anything that is organic. Um, there's a saying I like to repeat, which is that God does not make straight lines. Okay, there's nothing in nature that's been created where it's a perfect straight line, where it's a straight, like, perpendicular line. Um, that just does not happen. That's something that is that's a man-made mathematical concept. Okay, nothing in the human body is perfectly straight. Um, Everything, it has a semblance of straightness, but everything tends to have a curve, slight curve to it, because if it's something is like it's perfectly straight, that means that it is not changing. It is rigid. There's no um, there's no uh, what roots of it being organic within it. Curves always imply, like, the beginning of a change, right? Because if I was to keep going, obviously it's gonna change into that, right? So, excuse me, it's getting a little bit messy here. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit so I can do this a little bit more clearly. Okay. So yeah, so here's my hand here, okay, and so yeah, when you draw your fingers, you want them to branch out like this, okay. Again, I'm not drawing any perfect straight lines here, okay. Trying to keep it as organic as possible, all right. Again, as I said before, um, each digit yes, it does have three sections, but each section it gets progressively smaller by a third for each one. Okay, all right. Same thing here. Okay, this would be a third. This would be like a third smaller, like that. Same thing here. Um, Whoops. Excuse me. Actually, I have erred. But like I said, I'm not gonna make a big deal about it. I put these two a little bit too close together, and I didn't mean to do that actually. Okay. All right. Don't. All right. There we go. Actually, put that down there. Put that down there. Again, like I said before, do not flip out. If you flub or um, um, it didn't really come together as smoothly as you had hoped, it's all right. Nobody's gonna throw you in art jail, or take away um, your right to draw. That's not gonna happen. Okay. Um, so just identify, what you made a mistake with, and then correct it. That's the good thing. Like, you notice when you make a mistake, um, it's always an opportunity for you to correct it and make it better. You There's something that Steve Houston said that stuck with me, and I thought it was quite it was quite reassuring. It was really nice to hear, and actually, it is kind of true. Um, you know, um, People want to see you succeed. When it comes to you know um, when you are creating your art. I don't think there's anyone out there that wants to see somebody fail. you know, if they're really trying to um, uh, create something or express something through art. Um, some people might have some difficulty articulating that, because maybe they don't have the right kinds of tools, or maybe they don't have the experience. Um, Maybe they have some whatever, you know, mental block. I don't know, you know, but everyone pretty much wants to see what someone has to say. If it's something that has the intention of um, expressing something that is honest and hopefully has some sense of beauty and truth to it, right? So what I'm saying is, again, don't kill your drawings before they had a chance to live, because um, believe it or not, um, there are a lot of folks out there that really would like um, to see what you have to express and what you have to say, no matter how you know great that might be, or how small it might be. You know? So I hope that's making sense for you guys. Okay. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to I don't want this video to get too long, but I hope these little tips have helped a little bit. And of course, I promise, this is hands. Um, this is part one. Okay, part one of many. I promise, and hopefully, I'll articulate it a little bit better. All right, but I hope this was helpful for you guys. Okay, if this was helpful, please leave me a comment, and please give me a like. Actually, what would really help if any of my videos on my channel are useful, interesting, or might be useful for other people, please share it. Please share it. Please recommend it. I really would like to do more. I've been lucky to get enough time to do a video every day now for the past couple of days, and I really would like to keep on doing it if possible. So please, do me a favor. Please subscribe. Please give it a like. Please share it with folks who you also think might be interested or might benefit from these videos. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye bye.